Hello friends, today we are going to learn figures of speech in this video. What is a figure of speech? A figure of speech is a way of expressing our thoughts attractively, beautifully, impressively. This way of expression is used in literature. It is used in dramas, it is used in poems, it is used in stories. So audience, spectators, readers, they get attracted, they get impressed when they read or listen such expressions. There are several figures of speech, but we are going to learn some of them in today's video. So let us start. Alliteration. Alliteration means when a consonant sound or a consonant letter, a vowel sound or a vowel letter repeats in the beginning of many words in succession. For example, you can see here, Grandma, tell me a tale of a tale. Grandma, tell me a tale of a tale. In the word tale, the beginning sound is T. In this word also, the beginning sound is T, and in this word also, the beginning sound is T. That is consonant. So you can see that the consonant T, the letter is T and the sound is T. So the consonant sound is repeated here. It is repeated beautifully. It is repeated musically. So this is what is called alliteration. Let's see the next example. She went to see the sea. You can see that in this word and in this word, the sound of S, sir, the sound of S, sir is repeated. That is why you can call it alliteration. Sometimes you can see here the letter T is repeated. That too makes this example alliteration. So now you know that when in the beginning of a word or in the beginning of many words, a consonant sound, a consonant letter, a vowel sound or a vowel letter repeats, then it is alliteration. But sometimes there is a confusion for many students. They don't know when to write repetition or when to write alliteration. In repetition, mind the spelling also. First note down the spelling. In repetition, words, complete words are repeated. Not the beginning sound, but the words are repeated. For example, down and down came the news. So here the word down is repeated. So this is repetition. In the second example, the children talked and talked their heads off. To talk one's head off means talk too much, excessively. So you can see here the word talked is repeated. That is why these two examples belong to repetition. When the whole words are repeated, it is repetition. When the beginning vowel or consonant sound is repeated, then it is alliteration. I think that is clear now. And now let us move to the next, metaphor and simile. I want to just make a comparison between them. Metaphor is when you say that two different things are not different, but they are just the same one thing, then it is metaphor. And when you say that the two different things have something in common and you use to show the common thing with the words like, such, so, then it is simile. Okay? When I say like a flash of a camera, the lightning flashed, then it is simile because I have compared flash of camera and the flash of lightning, or the lightning and flash of camera are compared, but they are compared directly. They are compared directly. That is why it is simile. This example is of simile. When I say the flash of the lightning flashed, what I said, the flash of the lightning flashed, means I am comparing the flash of the camera and the flash of the lightning, but I am comparing it indirectly, then it is metaphor. When I say he fought like a lion, then it is simile because I am using like to show the comparison directly. But when I say he was a lion in the fight, or during the fight he was a lion, it means I am comparing the person and the lion indirectly, then it is metaphor. When two different things are compared directly, they are simile, or it is an example of simile. And when two different things are compared indirectly, then it is an example of metaphor. So you can see here, your younger brother is as innocent as a lamb. Means your younger brother and lamb, they are compared, but they are compared directly by using as. So it is an example of simile. But when I say your younger brother is a lamb, means I am comparing indirectly, and then it becomes the example of metaphor. So now you know that when two different things are compared directly, it is an example of simile, and when two different things are compared indirectly, it is an example of metaphor. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Hyperbole. Note down the pronunciation. Hyperbole. I will write here. Hyperbole. Hyperbole. You can say it hyperbole also. If you don't know the real pronunciation, if you say hyperbole, it is accepted, but the real pronunciation is hyperbole. We are not going to just talk about the pronunciation, but we are going to talk about the figure of speech, hyperbole. When hyperbole, you can see in the lines that impossible things are described as possible. It is an overstatement when things are exaggerated. When things are exaggerated, or when things are overstated, or when impossible things are described as possible, then it is an example of hyperbole. Like here in the example, the widow shed bucketfuls of tears. Shedding tears means crying, but shedding bucketfuls of tears, impossible thing is described as possible. So this is an example of hyperbole. This is an overstatement. This is an exaggeration. So this is hyperbole. Second example, I was so hungry I could eat a horse. I was so hungry I could eat a horse. This is a way of saying when somebody is very, very hungry, he could say, I was so hungry I could eat a horse, or I am so hungry I could eat a horse. Could shows past ability, or can show future possibility. It can show past possibility also, or future possibility. Mostly could is used to show future possibility. That's not the point, but the point is impossible thing is described as possible. This is an exaggeration, this is an overstatement. So this is an example of hyperbole. When things are overstated, when things are exaggerated, it is an example of hyperbole. Now, antithesis and paradox, I want to compare them. In antithesis and paradox, one thing is common. Opposite ideas or opposite words are expressed together. But there is a difference. When antithesis comes, only opposite words or opposite ideas can be expressed. They may not be true. But when paradox comes, opposite ideas or opposite things expressed in paradox may be true. So we are going to now take the examples of antithesis first. Day and night the the farmer toiled. Day and night the farmer toiled. Toil means work very, very hard. So you can see that day and night are the opposite words. They are just expressed. Anti means opposite. Thesis means idea. Thesis, idea. Anti, opposite. So opposite ideas are expressed or opposite words are expressed. This is an example of antithesis. Here is one more. Joys and sorrows are a part of our life. Joys, sorrows, opposite words expressed together. So this example can be of both antithesis and paradox, because joys and sorrows are part of our life is a reality. It may be true. So this can be an example of antithesis and paradox. But here, these two examples give more attention. More haste, less speed. Opposite ideas are expressed. Actually, when you do more haste, your speed should grow. But when we are in confusion, you want to do more haste, but you can't gain speed. The speed decreases. So this is a true thing. This is a true thing. So this is an example of paradox. When opposite ideas or opposite things are expressed, but if they may be true, then it is an example of paradox. And the last example, paradox. His money increased, his happiness decreased. Now, this is surprising. When money grows, you should get more and more happiness. But in life, this is a reality. Sometimes money comes, but it can't bring happiness, because happiness depends on our mind, on our own ideas. So opposite ideas are expressed here, but they may be true. That's why this is an example of paradox. Now one more last thing I want to tell you. One example can be of more than one figure of speech. Like you can see here, down and down, okay, came the leaves. It is a sentence which is written in a poetic line, means subject and verb, their places are changed. So prose is changed to poetry. So this can be an example of inversion or inversion. So you can see that sometimes here the children talked and talked their heads off. T. Words talked the word talked is repeated, that is there, but the beginning letter, that is consonant letter, is repeated. So it can be an example of alliteration. So you can see that one line can belong to more than one figure of speech. Like here I will like you to just see, I would like you to see here, his happiness, the sound of her is expressed. Then it is an example of alliteration. So always remember that a line can belong, a statement can belong to more than one figure of speech. And from the pattern of the sentence, statement, or the line, you can understand what exactly the figure of speech is. I think this is enough for today's video, and I hope that you have understood it clearly. Please write your comments in the comment box. Okay, just let me see how my videos are, okay, being useful, or how they are making an impact on you. Okay, so comment, share, like, and please subscribe my channel. Okay, with that I say goodbye. Thank you. Take care.